All right, we're going to take a look at setting up a drill bank and determining what drills are in what position and how this software is going to determine what drill to use. So the first thing that we would need to know is the indexing of each of the bits in a drill bank. So this is machine specific. Typically, the intersecting drill is index number 1, but sometimes you'll find that index number 1 might be out on the outside of the bank. So this is what we will need to know, and everything works off of the index 1 position. So we're going to take a look at creating and setting up the files for different drill banks. We will look at the post folder inside of program data, PartNester 3, PartNester version 1, post, and just kind of dive down into it. And there are going to be a couple of drill bank files that are listed as XML files. So we have the drill bank sample, the SCM, and a shop saber listed. So if we just open up one of those XML files, we have two of them opened up here, one for the shop saber and one as just the sample drill bank. Most are using just the sample drill bank because all this really is doing isn't machine specific other than it is specifying what drill is in what position. So within the drill bank sample file, we have a total of drills in the X, and then we will have total drills in the Y. This is organized by a series of drill bank branches underneath of the X and the Y. So indexed drill number 1 is going to have an XY value of 0, and then the drill diameter that is in that particular indexed position. So again, looking at our drill bank, if we are going by this intersecting drill right here to be index number 1, and across this way is the X, so we are going to be entering in the positions of each of these drills in the X direction based off of drill index number 1. So this is what we have here. In the X, we are 32 millimeters off of the X from index 1, then 64, and so on up until we continue however many drills are in the X direction. Along with each of the drills in that drill bank, we have the XY offsets, the diameter of that drill, the binary number that is corresponding to that drill, and I'll explain that, and then the drill name. For each of the drills, we see that we have the binary number going from 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. That is in reference to index number 1 being binary 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. This is called in the file and added up to determine how many drills the machine should put down and prepare for drilling. So if the machine is only going to use drill number 1 and drill number 2, binary 1, binary 2, we will add those two together and you will get a value of 3, which will then put down 1 and 2. If we only want to have the drill number in the far left here in the X direction, again we are binary 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16, the call to put down drill number 5 or drill number 16 would be just a 16. If we want all 5 of these drills to be turned on, it is an addition of 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 to turn all 4 or all 5 of those drills on. We then have the same orientation in the Y direction for the drills. So again, starting with indexed 1, some machines start over with the binary number again in that direction, and some machines just continue on with the 16, 32, 64, 128, and so on. And again, tool names. In this case, we have the drill name increasing and staying, not separating Y and X, but it is just a continuation, but the binary number has started over for the X direction. So it is fairly simple, and what most new users would have to do is set up if your machine uses the drill name to determine what drills to put down, come into this file and modify the drill name for that particular drill bank, modify any of the tool diameters that we have in the file. So most machines would be set up to have whatever primary orientation your grain is. So in the case of we have this nesting here is in the X direction. Typically all 5 drill bits in the X direction will be set to 5mm. If you have a machine that is oriented with the y-axis being the longer axis, it is typical to have all of the drill diameters in the y direction to have the 5mm. The sample file currently has all 5mm bits being used for the drill diameters. If you want to change, if we have an 8mm or a 3/8 diameter in drill position, in this case Y0 is the same as X0, so both of those bits need to be the same diameter in this particular instance. But if we wanted to change the drill diameters, you would just enter in the values that you want them to be. Now in this case, I have my software set up to run imperial and not in metric, so the drill bank file needs to have imperial values, inch values, and not metric values. If your outputting is metric, then you would need to have the metric values entered into the drill bank file. Hopefully this helps understanding how to set up and set what bit diameters you have in what drill file. So just to close, again, we have the options in Program Data, PartNester, PartNester 3, the version 1.00, the post, and inside of that post are XML files for the drill banks, and that is setting up the drill bank feature to have the option set to use the drill bank. Hopefully this helps.